Hello and welcome back this weekend, and I have some heartwarming news. So thank you for tuning in. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And I'd like to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day weekend. I hope you feel the love because you are so pivotal. So it's a happy Mother's Day for me. So Kelly Zajvan, who is a friend of Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, took to her social media to talk about Meghan and their friendship. Meghan supported her after the passing of her son. Kelly lost her 9-year-old son George unexpectedly in 2022, and Meghan contributed to a GoFundMe for the family by donating in the names of her son Archie and daughter Lilibet. So Kelly took to Instagram to love on Meghan, writing, quote, "As Mother's Day approaches, I can't help but think of my own community of motherhood. I instantly think of you, Meg, how incredibly nurturing and warm and open you are. What an incredible friend and mother. I am truly in awe of you, and I'm so grateful that you are a part of my #community of motherhood. You are always the first to say yes and support those you love. You are a fierce advocate for those who are in need. Thank you for joining this year's campaign to support LA's expectant and parenting foster youth, which helps provide critical services, education, resources, and advocacy so that they can build a better future for themselves and their families." She also went on to ask people to join in the special campaign to purchase t-shirts to support, and she gave a link in her bio. She also provided a link for people to purchase shirts in the campaign that they were having with Alliance of Moms. For those who need to know, Alliance of Moms was co-founded by Megs Kindness, and it has the mission to support pregnant and parenting teens in LA's foster care system, helping them build a more positive future for themselves and their children. And according to the nonprofit's website, Megs Kindness, quote, hopes to model a life of philanthropy and kindness for her children so that they too will go on to support the next generation of families, end quote. As I mentioned before, Kelly's son passed away when he was only 9 years old, and she wrote a heartbreaking tribute to her sweet baby boy, in quotes, in an Instagram post. She said, quote, "My world is shattered into a million pieces. I have little ability to breathe, walk, function, sit, stand." She went on to say, "Your smile made the room so bright and your heart was the most perfect and sweetest." She also went on to say, "You left this earth and left behind so many people who love you." The entrepreneur is also a mom to a 9-year-old daughter, Lily, with her husband, Julian, and she said in her tribute that she will, quote, "try hard for your beautiful twin sister," end quote. So when Kelly's son, George, passed away after being found unresponsive at home, Prince Harry and Meghan donated around $5,000 to a GoFundMe page set up in his honor. And many other large donations were made, which was good because the family's expenses were covered for that time. Also at that time, Kelly thanked her world and tribe, in quotes, for their support in pulling her off the floor. And she was so grateful for all the support that people gave. So that's a great story there. As you can see in that image, her and Meghan are standing in that picture wearing those shirts. And it seems that Meghan has stood by her and is quite a close friend, as she said that Meghan is always someone who's the first to say yes and support those that she loves. It is a very good picture, in fact. As an aside, I would like to say it's good to see people speaking positively about the Duchess, as we know in the media how she has been portrayed as a, quote, Duchess, difficult and demanding. And yet on this other side, you see people saying that she is nurturing and warm and open. And I think a while ago, as we were discussing Prince Harry's ghostwriter, J.R. Moringer, and how he said that when he was working on the book, that Meghan would visit him and bring him snacks and food to eat from time to time, and she was right there. So it's quite good to see this whole other image being painted of her. So as I said before, Alliance of Moms is a community of philanthropists who support pregnant and parenting teens in LA's foster care system so that they can build a positive future for themselves and for their children. So there's the first post. Let me know your thoughts on that story in the comment section. And this leads me also into another heartwarming one. As we know, Meghan visited Uvalde in the aftermath of the tragedy that had happened there, where her and Prince Harry, in the end, in partnership with Kaboom and the city of Uvalde, built a new playground at De Leon Park near Rob's school. So there is this story that was published in UvaldeLeaderNews.com, which said, Uvalde Dual Language Academy is getting a new playground on May the 13th, the culmination of decades of effort by coach Norma Sandoval, aided by a chance encounter with Meghan. A conversation the coach had with a staff member of Meghan's sparked an initiative that led to thousands of dollars worth of playground improvements at 2 local parks, and volunteers are being sought to help with another build at UDLA on May the 13th. Sandoval says she was asked to show Meghan and her staff, who came to Uvalde, around while volunteering at the Willie De Leon Civic Center. Sandoval was headed to close her classroom at the school, but she felt called by God to change her mind and instead go to the Civic Center on May the 26th. She also said months after the visit, she told Jen DeMello, a representative from Kaboom, who helped coordinate the De Leon Park build, how she was so desperate for playgrounds in Uvalde. She asked Meghan and her staff about it, and a stunned DeMello told her, quote, "Wow, you may be the reason why we are in Uvalde," end quote. She went on to say, Sandoval said, quote, "It was an act of courage because it took a courageous act for me to talk to her and ask her about playgrounds, and the fact that it didn't go on deaf ears, that she saw my passion and my plea is amazing," end quote. Quote, "It's a God thing, and I am a believer. When I went to the Civic Center that morning, I asked God to use me in a big way. I never knew it would be for this," end quote, Sandoval said. She was impressed by how much compassion Meghan showed to the community after the tragedy. "She won me over that day," she said. She went on to say, quote, "Her gentleness, her empathy, everything. Just seeing her make eye contact, getting on her knees, crying, it was just such a great experience for me to see, being that I didn't really know her," end quote. While Sandoval did not know it at the time, her remarks to Meghan's staff led to new playgrounds at De Leon Park, Esperanza Park, and soon at her school, the fulfillment of an over 2-decade dream. While giving them a tour of the facility and interacting with teachers spreading out across the center, she began chatting with an assistant to Meghan while they walked around. The conversation turned to children, and Sandoval remarked she had always hoped to see more play spaces for children in the community. Sandoval said, quote, "I said, you know what? You've got to shoot your shot. So I said, listen, I've been teaching PE for over 20 years, and in my 20 years, I've known that we in Uvalde, in my school for sure, do not have playgrounds that kids need," end quote. So she spoke about the general lack of park equipment across Uvalde and how she loved to see children playing, and she thought that it was not only a good physical activity but could lift the children's spirits. So she said that though she desperately wanted new playgrounds for her school, decades of attempting to raise money, selling field day t-shirts, and hosting various other fundraisers failed to raise enough to make it happen. She said playgrounds were expensive and classes would want to go on field trips or have other needs the money wound up going towards. She talked about how Meghan and her staff did not forget Sandoval's words about Uvalde's children needing playgrounds, and they reached out to Kaboom, and together, Harry, Meghan, and volunteers working with the city of Uvalde built a new playground last year, as I mentioned. She said Sherry Rutledge and Lucy Capt reached out to her knowing she was passionate about playgrounds and put her in contact with Kaboom staff, and now her dream of a new playground at her school is coming true, in fact, today. So there you can see there are the plans for that playground right there. It looks so fun. And as she said, the mission there is just getting started, and they want to build playgrounds throughout the entire city so that every kid in Uvalde has a beautiful place like De Leon Park and Esperanza Park. with the newest play space at Uvalde Dual Language Academy to play, learn, and just be happy, healthy kids. So that's a heartwarming story right there. Once again, some background into how this new playground is coming into play, no pun intended. You can see that image there of the graphic that depicts a new playground, including a zip line requested by the children who helped plan the space. I love that, by the way. They always get the feedback and input of the kids on what they would love to have in their particular play spaces. And I think that just looks so fun. Like a really good time for the kids. So I want to share these stories with you. Now share your thoughts on these stories in the comment section below. As always, before we log off, a special thank you to those who give to this channel. Your support truly means so much, and I would love to shout out a couple of you by name. A special thank you to you. Patricia Lane, thank you so much for your faithfulness, your consistency, your love. I truly am grateful to God for you. God bless you. Thank you as well to Patricia Benjamin. You are such a precious and giving soul, and I do love you so much. Thank you for choosing to support and encourage my work here on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you as well to Henrietta Palmer. You have been so generous. I do appreciate you for your tremendous support for my work here. You have gone above and beyond. Thank you for being in the chat and giving as well through Super Chat. And that on top of being a supporter of this channel, I love you. Thank you. And now a special thank you to a newer supporter of this channel. A special thank you to you, Rose Hill, who's chosen to be a member on this channel. Rose, I do appreciate you. Thank you for thinking of me and considering supporting my work, and for being so generous and open-hearted and a boost to my work. Thank you. Thank you. May God bless you. Truly. Once again, thank you to all who like, comment, and subscribe. And if you liked this one, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let the algorithm know you enjoyed what you watched. It truly does help out the channel. And if you want to watch more videos, click the links on the cards and at the end screen. And I'll see you there. Thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. And once again, a happy Mother's Day weekend to all the mothers out there. I love you all. Know that I do. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.